lizardmen evolved from the brackish waters of Teleria long before modern humanoid races emerged. Welcome to Raid Story Legends with me, LeilaFox. Hi there, thank you so much for joining me today. I am LeilaFox, and this is my Raid Story Legends series where I go over different stories and lore with some of our favorite champions from Raid. Today's story is going to be Krisk the Ageless. I hope you enjoyed this story. Once, a long time ago, lizardmen ruled much of Teleria's eastern continent. An ancient and proud race, they called themselves Dragonkin in honor of the great dragon whom they venerated as their chief deity. Dazzling temples of brass and limestone pierced the sky. Wise priests directed their kin to further the empire's greatness from these magnificent palaces. It fell to the mightiest Dragonkin warriors to defend the priests and the temples of their god. That was Krisk's duty as well. As a sentinel of the great dragon shrine, he oversaw the rituals and divinations that took place there, carried out the will of the priests, and helped them tend to the arcane vortex that was suspended in the very heart of the temple. When the wars raged and the nomads invaded, Krisk fought with every ounce of skill and might he had within. But even that could not be enough when everything else was lost and his people's greatness crumbled to dust. Grievously wounded, Krisk was cast down and could only observe as the shrine shattered beneath the shockwave of a great explosion when the foolish humans entangled the vortex. Many had died on both sides then, and untold magical storms were unleashed upon the land. But Krisk survived through that ordeal. Though his temple was gone, and his people descended further into primitive savagery by the generation, he had sworn an oath to defend what was left of the shrine. And so Krisk the Ageless determined he would stand vigil until the end of time, for the magical storm that he weathered had filled him with power and vitality, increasing his naturally long lifespan beyond what many thought was possible. It was only when the shadow came that Krisk's oath was broken. Though many of his kin had hailed the dragon unleashed by Mordu Macabre as their god, Krisk knew that was falsehood and lies. He fought the servants of Siroth that came to claim the shrine, bringing all of his experience and supernatural might to bear, sundering chitin shields and breaking horned skulls by the score. When the Arbiter's Chosen arrived, he realized that it had to be Providence directing them, and thus extended his protection to the brave warriors in Lumea's service. They fought side by side, with Krisk the Ageless marching forth in front of his allies, deflecting spell and weapon alike with his enchanted armor. And when the battle was done, he had sworn his soul and his mace to the Arbiter. For he knew the desecration of the shrine was only the beginning. If his people were not saved from the lies of the false dragon god, they would fall into darkness and slavery, a fate far worse than even their current half-savage existence. I hope you enjoyed this story of Krisk the Ageless. I feel like this story is very intense, and this is probably the first of the lizardmen faction stories that I have personally read myself, and the first that I have shared in this Raid Story Legends series. I think this story really gives me a whole new understanding for the role that Krisk the Ageless plays in Raid Shadow Legends, and why he is such an amazing and strong champion and character in the game. I hope you enjoyed this story, and I look forward to sharing more stories with you next week. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed our video, you can catch us live on twitch.tv/LeilaFoxNation 4 days a week on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on by and be part of our community, and we'll see you there.